Welcome to SeedProd, the best drag and drop WordPress website builder. In this video, we're going to be creating a sci-fi themed photo gallery that you can follow along with and apply your own styles and your own theme to. Here we can see the finished product where we have a title at the top. We're using fancy dividers here with an advanced gallery that will open up into an image lightbox. We can skim through the images if we like or open them one at a time. We have an angled background style here with some spacey looking particles in the background floating around, as well as a contact me button at the bottom. All right, so how do we create this? Let's get started. So here I have a clean installation of WordPress, and on the left-hand side, I have SeedProd installed. I'm using the Pro version for this video. Now you could create this gallery using landing pages or a page in the theme builder. I'm just gonna keep it simple with the landing pages. And I'm gonna add a new landing page. Here we can select a new page template. I'm just going to use the blank template and click the check mark. Let's give this a name. I'll simply call mine outer space and I'll save and start editing the page. Great. At the top, we need to choose a layout here. This is the SeedProd page layout, and we can use our blocks here on the left-hand side to drag and drop into our page and create this gallery. But first we need a layout. I'm just going to use a single column or a row here, and we can click on the row settings. The first thing I'm going to do is increase the width here. I'm going to go up to 1600, and I think that looks good. I think I would have put the actual gallery in first, and then we'll build everything else around that. So we can click up here to go back to our blocks. And if we scroll down under advanced here, we can find gallery, and we want the advanced gallery. Let's drag and drop this into our page. Now it's going to ask us to add images. Here, let's click on block settings on the left-hand side. We're going to select single, and we want to add our gallery images. Here I uploaded 8 different photos that I created in Midjourney with an AI. So let's go ahead and select all of these. I'll just hold and click shift from one side to the other and create a new gallery here in the bottom right. You can add captions if you like. I'm not going to be displaying them in this example. And then I'm going to insert the gallery. On the left-hand side for our advanced gallery settings, we can close the gallery images here. And on the left-hand side, we have settings. Let's open this up. Now you can decide how many columns you want. I think I'm going to go with 4, but you could change this to suit your needs, maybe 8, or if you want, you could go bigger with 2. I think 4 for my needs is fine. The spacing, you can increase this if you like. I'm going to open this up. Aspect ratio, let's go for 16:9. That's the ratio that I used on these images. And the image size, I'm going to go with large just so the quality looks a little bit better. For the overlay, I don't want any in this example. I don't have any text to show, so I'm just going to leave that off. We can go into the advanced options, and for shadow, I'm going to come down and I'm actually going to select the bottom drop shadow, and you can see that that adds a little bit on the bottom. If we go under image border, we can increase the image border size here. I'm going to put this one to 10, and you can see that gives me some rounded corners here. We also have a border style. Now that we have the drop shadow, we can actually add maybe a highlight here. So I'm going to go solid, and then I want to add 1 pixel on each side, and the color I'm going to use is white. And now you can see that that white actually pops off the white background because we have that shadow there on the bottom. I think that looks pretty good. For me, I think I'm fine for all of the rest of the options here. If you like, maybe you could add some animation effects, so when the page loads, it could load in and look a little bit nicer or classier. Let's go back to our blocks here, and the next thing I want to add is a headline. Let's drag this up to the top, and here I'm going to select the block settings and change the headline text. I'm just going to call mine outer space fantasy, and we do have some options for font size and level and alignment. I'm going to leave that alone and actually come under the advanced tab and come under typography and click edit. This gives me more options to modify the text. For the font family, I'm going to select a custom font here. Let's just go with maybe Joust, which I like quite a bit, and I'll just leave that on regular. For the font size here, let's find something that works. I'm going to go with around 35, I think looks good. And the letter spacing, I want to give this a sci-fi kind of look, so we'll space the letters out really nice. And I guess I'll just go the full max with the 50. I think that looks good as well. All right, we can close this. And the color, I actually want to change this to white, but we're not going to be able to see it because I want to add a red background behind this. So we'll change it to white for now, and we'll just remember that that's there. And I think the rest of the options are fine. Let's come back to our blocks. And the next thing I want to add is an actual divider. So we can search for the divider and drag this below our headline here. Let's go ahead and select the block settings. And under style here on the left-hand side, I'm going to change this to dotted. For the color, I'm going to go with a red. And for the height, I'm actually going to increase this to, let's go with maybe 10. And that'll increase the size of the dots here. And I think the width is fine. We'll put that somewhere around 90. Let's go ahead at the bottom here. I'm actually going to add an element. You can do text or icon. I'm going to do an icon. And you can see that it adds a little icon here in the middle. I'm going to increase this size somewhere around 50. Let's do right around there. I think is fine. 50 to 55. and let's change the icon. I'm just going to type in down, and I'll use these down arrows. If we come under advanced, we can actually change the icon color here. So I'm going to change this to maybe a little bit of a darker red, just so it slightly sticks out from the other red color there. Keep in mind, you can change your color scheme to whatever you want: blues, yellows, oranges, whatever makes sense for your design. All right, great. I think that looks good. Let's just go ahead and duplicate this one, and we'll drag it underneath the gallery. Let's select the block settings here. And if we come under content for the settings, we can change that icon. And instead of going down, let's type in up, and we can find the up arrows here, which is the opposite. And it just looks like it's pointing towards the gallery here in the middle. Great. Now for this gallery, maybe you're selling artwork prints, or they're photos of real estate or whatever you want, and you want somebody to contact you. You could go one step further and set up an actual store with buy buttons or order buttons. Or if you just want a simple contact form, you could add a form in here or a contact button. So let's go ahead. I'm going to add a new section here at the bottom, and I'll click the add columns. And again, it's just going to be another single one. For this one though, for the actual section settings, I'm going to change the background to a black, and we'll come back to the blocks, and I'm going to search for button, and we just want a standard button here. I'm going to drag this right into the middle, and let's go ahead and modify the block settings for this button. I'm going to update the button text here to say contact me, and we have the subtext here as well. I'll do button subtext for stunning artwork prints. So here we can see contact me for stunning artwork prints, and then go ahead and click that. For the link, you could send this anywhere. You could do a link to a contact page, or maybe you have another store set up somewhere else that you could send people to. For the size, I'm going to change this actually down to a medium, and let's add an icon here. So we'll use the same ones here. I'll go right, and we'll use these arrows. You can see it adds it to the left side of the contact pointing to the right. And on the other side here, we'll go with left, and I'll add that in here. Next, if you like, you can come under templates. Maybe you'll find a button here that you like. I'll just go through these, and I think I'm going to use my own. So let's go ahead under advanced and customize this a little bit for button style. I'm actually just going to go with link. So even though it looks like a text link, it gives us options to customize it a lot by using the button block. So under topography, let's click edit, and I'm going to change that font to Joust. And again, we'll just go with the regular, which is fine. For the font size, let's go somewhere just a bit up on 20. But with the letter spacing, let's put this up a bit so it keeps the same theme as our headline that we can't currently see. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe we could bold this just to pop it off the page just slightly. And there we go. I think that's nice. Okay, let's go ahead and add the shape divider for the background here. We want to select the purple section here and come under advanced. And if we come down, we can see shape divider at the bottom. And we want to add one on the top. And the type that we want, I'm going to just add the tilt. And let's go ahead and add the color red. And there we can go ahead and see that. I actually might use the darker red. Let's go ahead and bring that down a bit. And we can adjust that based on if we can see the arrow or not. I'm going to come down and change the height of this. I'll go 600 here. But I actually want to flip this around to the other side. So there we go. I think that actually looks pretty good. Again, you can feel free to adjust this. Maybe you want to go with a lighter background with darker text. You could go full black here, which I think actually looks pretty sharp as well. And it matches your bottom. But I'll go with the darker red here for now. I like that. Great. Now, the last thing I want to add here are the space effects. So with the particle background, we can open this up and let's enable particle background. First off, it's going to show the polygons. We don't want that. I'm going to use the space. And here you have the opacity, the flow direction, and the color. For the color, I'm just going to switch this to black. And there we can see the particles floating around in the background to give that space effect, which I think looks great. Great. Let's go ahead and save this. We can go ahead and preview it. And there's the final product. Let me just increase it a little bit there so you can see it. Now you can see the photos clearly here, but you can't click them. So let's just go ahead and add that. So that's optional. If you just want to showcase the photos, you can do that and have them contact you if you don't want them to have the full size photo. But if you do want to show the full size, let's go ahead and add the lightbox feature. Back inside of SeedProd, let's select the advanced gallery, and under settings here, let's come down to link and change this to media file. Go ahead and save this. And again, we'll preview. Now, when you select on a photo, you can see that that increases, and they can preview this, and they can go through them one at a time. They can close and select another photo. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel. Leave a like and a comment. We love hearing from you. And check out these videos as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video.